We're going to try to do this.
What are we trying to do, Carter?
I have no idea how this is going to go. We've got 3 people already involved.
There was 4 a second ago. I saw 4.
I don't know. I only see 3, so it's okay.
Somebody bailed out. Now it's down to 2.
They're already tuning out. They already can't take it.
4.
It's already too much. We've already halved our audience. All right, so for those of you, tick them back up. It's back to 3. All right, so for those of you who don't know, let us school you and tell you we're attempting.
It's down to 1.
It's all good, dude. Can't let that. Don't worry about it.
My dad always said I had a face for radio.
It's all good. People are just trying to figure it out. They'll get there. And that's going to fluctuate the whole time. Anyways, the entire episode here, start to finish, we're doing a show. So this is our intro.
Never been done before.
No.
By us.
Is this by default our new intro music?
Yeah, evidently it is.
There you have it.
At least for 2 hundo.
2
Looks like we got a message.
hundo. 2 hundo. 2 hundo.
I don't know how to open it, but
I don't know who this is.
I don't either.
I don't know. It's okay.
That's what Sammy Sabedra always does.
Yeah, it does. He does. Yeah, I love it.
Up to 4.
Up to 4. What is going on, Scotty Diebler?
Just hanging out. Had a busy last week. Obviously, we recorded while I was driving down the road to a motorcycle rally. It was called Bike Fest, and it was at Lake of the Ozarks Harley-Davidson. And I did that for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Long days of helping out at the Harley shop. And then got out of there as soon as I could. Went to Tulsa, Oklahoma for Endurocross. It was the season opener. It was at the BOK Center, which is a beautiful building in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I came home. My mom was actually in town and my stepdad for a few days and got to hang out with them at my daughter's house. And then here we are. It's Thursday already and the week's almost over, but we get to do our podcast tonight.
We are. We're doing a live show here, and I set up a couple scenes here. We're trying to go through and do full end-to-end from beginning to end without stopping.
And we have one that's on the way.
Yeah, well, so yeah, this is interesting because the last and final video is exporting as we're going live here. So it's like I just checked it.
Close.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes left. So halfway through the Breyer interview, that should be done exporting. So
you just gave away the first interview.
I just gave away our first interview. That is, yeah. So we've got some pretty interesting. We got 200. Well, come on, dude. If you've followed anything, you know that our very first interview ever.
Yep.
Breyer Bauman. Our 100th episode. Who was it?
Breyer Bauman.
So it being our 200th, who else can we have but Breyer Bauman?
I was going to say Dave Zanotti. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be a good one too. But I mean, it's not just Breyer Bauman either. We have another interview besides Breyer Bauman. So I didn't give it all away.
And this guy's been on twice already before too.
Are you going to give that away right now too?
No, I'm just going to say he's already been on. I said he's been on twice before. So
well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if Breyer Bauman is one guest, who the other one might be. But
well, I mean, you never know.
So yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about this. 200 though. You think did you ever think when we started this thing we'd get to 200?
I didn't think we'd make it 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't. I didn't know. I'd never done a podcast before, and
neither had I. And look at us now,
figuring it all out.
Oh.
Commit to an evening once a week to talk to you.
I know.
And our fans, at least once a week. What are you fist pumping for?
I was doing the sound effect, but it didn't have the sound effect. Oh,
I got you. There you go. Oh, we got another message over here.
No, we don't. Do we?
I do. Hold on a second.
Oh, you're getting private messages, Scotty. What's going up on your private?
No,
hit us up on your DMs.
It says okay, and it has that one with the smiley face. I just now figured out how to
open that up. That's what we saw before.
You know, it's only our 200th episode, and I just now figured out how to do that, so it's all right.
Welcome to the party, Scotty.
Thank you. Yay.
So, yeah, we got Breyer Bauman. One interview for this episode. Do you want to tell who the other guest is? Or do you want to just get into Breyer's interview?
Well, what if the other one doesn't show up?
The other one will show up. I have full confidence that the other one will show up. But it's 2
You sure didn't
minutes.
have full confidence 6 minutes ago before we
No, I
started.
just got a little nervous because you like to have everything prepared before you go live to air.
Yeah.
But it's the first time we're figuring out how to do. Oh yeah, do you want to talk about that now?
Look at that.
Do you want to talk about that now? Because we can probably do something here. Hold on, let me see if I got.
I don't want you.
Do you want here? Let's do it close up first. Let's see if I can do these. Oh wait, hold on.
That's our logo. That's us.
What's in these? What's in that box? What's in that bag and in those boxes?
Package in the mail.
I don't want to hear about your package unless it's what is is this? What is this, Scotty Dubler?
We've got pendants.
Scotty Dubler and Tommy Duma have
pendants.
They've collabed on this great little deal that they got going on. We'll have more details on this soon.
Hold
I think.
On a second. Right? That one's on top of the other. There you go.
That's the one. Look at that. Look at that
That's
logo.
What I want to see. That is
bling
the
bling and logo.
That's the men's version.
You wanna show them that
one for the ladies.
That extra close up. Show them that.
Ooh, I'll break this one up. I see what you're saying. I'll open this one up. Yeah, I still have the ladies here in the box.
Look at that. Ooh. I wish I had the ooh and the ah. I have the. Ooh. Fire. Tracy Jones, what's up, man? How are you, sir?
What's up, JC?
Yeah, those are pretty. We're gonna have more details on those here in the near future. Do you have all the details right now? You want to get into it? We'll do it.
Well, we know that the men's will be $199, the ladies will be $99, and it is Tommy Duma's way to support our podcast. We'll be taking orders here soon. We got to work out those details, but if you want one, hit me up or hit up Carter, and he'll direct you to me. But send me a message, Instagram, text message, give me a call. We'll figure that out.
All the ladies will want one. Cynthia.
Oh,
no, that's good stuff. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I love that logo. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of seeing that logo. So.
And not too long ago, you started talking about a new logo, but I think...
I'm just saying sometimes you just... I don't want a new logo. I say freshen up.
Another logo.
No, I love that logo. Just update it.
I got you.
Like a little extra flair. Uh-oh.
I think at some point, we might need to do shirts again. What?
I think I just figured it out.
Is the other one done?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to do this live. We're doing it live! Oh, man, it's just me. Hold on.
There's Carter in your messy room. At least the chalkboard's turned around. 6-time, 5-time, soon to be more time.
Did I just give it away again?
This guy, Jared, what's up, man?
I gave it away both times.
Whew. Man, he can't.
At least we're prepared here. Yeah, so we're ready.
All right, ready? So now we're gonna start. So this is. Let's tell all our folks, our patrons are getting this live right now. The entire show from start to finish.
Yeah, this is a total experiment here. We're having fun with it.
And then tomorrow we'll post this for everybody else on the way we regularly post it. And we're going to try to post that video probably on Facebook and probably on Instagram TV, IGTV.
Sure. Right. Sounds good to me. Yeah, we'll figure all that out. I think all that'll work.
Cynthia did say, though, if we do our YouTube channels, those YouTube links are blocked or whatever. So we might have to unblock this one. I don't know if you understand.
I know exactly what she's saying.
Way my pay grade.
They're not. It's not that they're blocked. They're unlisted. So unless you have the link, you won't be able to see it. So
I got you.
And there's different ways to do that. But yeah, we can definitely. I know what she's saying. So we'll make sure that's handled.
She's my quality control. So.
There you go. You got to have quality control. I love it. All right, so our very first guest, I gave that away when we first started. If you were listening,
Are we gonna do our regular intro?
Yeah, we can. Are you ready?
I haven't thought nothing to say, but here we go. What's new?
Friday, September 23rd, 2021, episode number 200.
Nope.
Did I say the wrong date?
Friday is the 24th, Hot Rod.
You're right. Today's the 23rd.
Good thing we're practicing.
Friday, September 24th. Third time's the charm. Friday, September 24th, 2021, episode number 200.
Woohoo!
All this time, it's all you've wanted to do. If this is it, it's 200.
Yeah, we made it to 200. It's like a race.
Is it?
I don't know.
200. That's
It's a big number.
commitment right there, brother.
It is.
200.
Starts with a 2 now.
Yeah.
It was single digits. Then it went to start with a 1. Now it starts with a 2.
I don't know a lot
That's
of
amazing.
3-digit twos. But yeah, no, 200, man. We're going to do it up pretty special on this one. We're actually doing this live, full end-to-end for our patrons, show beginning to end.
Video,
yeah. Yeah, you can see us. Look, hi, guys.
Oh, hi.
Not everybody. If you're not a patron, you can't see us. Hey, you should become a patron if you're not a patron because it's fun, right, patrons?
Yeah.
Did you hear them all? Yeah.
My earphones got loud there for a second.
But they're actually going to see all this live, and when this is experiment, this is the first time that we're trying this. Hopefully, we'll get better and better. We'll improve it every time we do it. But little experiment here. We're gonna have some fun with it. We've earlier today we recorded a couple interviews, and we're gonna let them rip here in full end-to-end episode. Do you want to talk about our first guest here?
Well, our first one is our first ever. What?
You're absolutely right.
It's our first ever we had.
Yeah.
Back when I was in not the room that you're in right now, but the room just to the other side of the hallway.
Right next door. Yeah.
And we called this guy. And I don't know why we picked Briar, but he was willing, and he's always willing to answer the phone if we call him up. And he was our 100th, and now he's our 200th.
Yeah.
We're talking about the current champ, 2-time and defending champion, looking to be the 9th guy to ever be a 3-time, 3-in-a-row champion. It could happen in a couple weeks at Charlotte. We're talking about the number 1, Briar Bauman. Briar, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just hanging out. We got a long break between Sacramento and now Charlotte, so trying to stay motivated. But yeah, just hanging. Really, that's all you can do right now. Really.
So I just want to say thanks for taking the time. You are our first guest, our 100th guest, and now you're our 200th guest here on Off the Groove. Thanks for making time for us, and the royalty check is in the mail.
We got to keep the tradition alive, right? I mean, I'll be here for 300, hopefully. So, yeah,
absolutely.
I live a ways out here, so I'm sure that the check will be coming in any minute now. So I'll be checking for it.
Does it come through horseback? Does a horse rider come and deliver mail by hand? How does it work out there?
By bird, actually. So I'm waiting on my owl to get.
Right on. So I got to ask you this. Shayna posted a picture of you kind of sitting in the dark, looking out the window. Are you watching your deer eat? What were you doing?
Yeah, so she hammered me on that one actually. We have like a little bit. It's not a field. We just have our backyard. Really, it's a little bit bigger here at our house, and the deer will cruise through. And I attempted to plant a food plot at one time, and it was a failure, but we do have a little bit of like clover growing back there, so the deer will come in and they'll eat it pretty much every night. So I just hang out and I watch them. I'm a big deer hunter, so I was just like, they could see us inside with the lights on, and I was like, "Hey, Shay, shut the lights off. They don't like that." So she was she was like, "What do you mean they don't like that?" I'm not too concerned what they like or don't like, and I'm like, "Well, I do care, you know." So shut them off, but she was a trooper about it.
Do you can you hunt right there at your property, or do you have to follow them to where they go and hunt there, somewhere else?
No, so I could technically hunt in my backyard. We have a small 5 acres here at our house, and if I wanted to, I could. I don't really hunt here in Pennsylvania, actually. Our property is just small enough that I will go out sometimes, and more so just sit to be out. But I don't have quite enough property to really expand, I guess I would say. Or sometimes the deer will they're just tough basically here in Pennsylvania. So I normally go to Illinois to my parents. They have a lot of property that we hunt, and me and Shane every year go out there about around the 1st of November, and we'll hunt in Illinois. So I can, but I don't really. I more so just Shayna calls them my pets.
That's funny. So you mentioned the long break. I counted. It's 26 days between Sacramento and Charlotte. How is first of all, do you like the breaks in a race season, and how is this break different than breaks in the past?
I hate it. I've been really vocal in all of my podium interviews, all of my everything I've ever done. I hate the breaks. I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's bad for the fans. I think it's bad for the racers. Everyone enjoys rhythm, and it's hard to follow when you lose. Like when you have weekends off and people kind of get sucked into other maybe sports or activities or whatever it may be. So I'm actually kind of bummed because we have a really close championship battle right now, and I think that we don't have the attention on it that we do because, or that we should, or we deserve because we've had so many long periods of time that fans have had the opportunity to kind of doze off a little bit. So, uh, and then obviously this one is a lot different than most of them. We had a 7 week break at the beginning of the year between Volusia and Atlanta, I think, and points weren't as crucial as they are right now. So 26 days between losing the points lead and then having the opportunity to take it back is a long time.
So you brought up the break where we've talked about it with without looking at the overall point standings. I think this is possibly your best year of your career. I mean, you got 3 wins, you've won 2 mission challenges, uh, you've been on the podium every race but two, a worst finish of 6 at New York. So are you happy with where you're at? This year so far with one more goal to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's so hard. The racing is so much closer right now than it's ever been, I think. Or not ever, but over the last couple of years. Like I've had more wins in years past, but a lot of guys that were maybe on a different brand motorcycle that weren't quite as competitive are now on good bikes, and it's kind of closed things up. So it like one of the frustrating things that me and my team talked about over the last couple of weeks, like the last 4 miles, is it's me personally. Like obviously, I won Indy last year both days, but I feel like these last 4 miles have been some of my best racing craft, like racing and race craft that I've ever had. I've never kind of picked apart a race before, and I feel like the last 4 miles I have, and I've been there, and obviously the three where Jared won by 27 seconds or whatever, is beside the point. Me with everyone else, I was right in the mix, and honestly, like before, in years past, either I just kind of got into second and kind of broke away from the guys behind me, and then Jared beat me by a ways, or I got shuffled back and didn't do anything. So yeah, I mean it's hard because I remember Chris Carr giving me a little bit of advice, like you learn more about who you are as a racer and your racecraft on the weekends that you're not winning, and I think that's been the case. Like I've had a lot of weekends, and even the weekends that I've won, I think that I haven't won by a large margin at all this year, I don't think. And in years past, I've won by 12 seconds. So it's kind of the wins have meant a little bit more just because I can, when I get done, I kind of know what I thought about through the race, and I know how I attacked it and how I approached the weekend, and how it's not just so much of a send it or go home mentality now. It's more like, how do I break this down and mentally make myself better?
What I've noticed about you this year, more so in particular, is you will sit back and maybe watch what the guys in front of you are doing, and then you pounce on them. You just attack them. In the past, I think you would just go for it right away. I think we're seeing a smarter, wiser Briar Bauman.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't think I can afford those trips through the air fence that much longer. I've done a few of those, so I just like I said, it's tough now. Like I mean, it's always been tough, obviously, but now we got Sammy on an Indian, we got Jared Vanderkoy on an Indian, we got Brandon Robinson's riding so good, Bronson Davis, Brian beat me at the last Sacramento. Like it's dude, it's hard. And then I mean, it obviously speaks volumes about how well Jared rode me's at the last 3 miles, but like it is tough. So I think that that's kind of shaping me, and it's kind of helping me too, just because sometimes I forget that I'm only 26. Like I don't have nearly as many laps as a lot of these guys.
Right.
So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, which I think people take the wrong way because I'm going for my third championship, which is obviously the goal. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, hey, ideally, I'm going to be here for a really long time. And if I could learn as much as I can and start to get wiser and learn or win using my brain rather than just my body. If we can mix those two together, I think it's going to make my career a little bit smoother.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Charlotte. Last year, we only got to race there once. We were scheduled to race there twice. You got a third. Jeffrey Carver pulled out the win. Meese was right there in front of you, and you got third. If I remember right, it was one heck of a dogfight between you and Jared. I think Carver was in that dogfight for a little while. But are we expecting the same here in a couple of weeks in Charlotte?
I surely hope not. I really don't. That was a battle. It was kind of funny. We got So I remember we had a red flag, and up until the red flag, Jared was leading. I was running second. I had passed Carver actually, and I was catching Jared pretty quickly, and was feeling good. And then a little bit different mindset then than compared to now, but like just being naive, I got to the point where I said, I don't care if I win. I just don't want Jared to win. So after the red flag, I started throwing some pretty aggressive block passes on Jared, and then Carver came by, and I said, well, shoot, maybe we get him to check out. I'll just keep doing this. And I would just meet Jared right in the middle of the corner and stop him. And then Jeffrey would get a couple more bike lengths. And all right, well, there he goes. He's getting further. So let's do it again. And yeah, it was a dogfight. It was probably pretty cool to watch. I felt like I'm sure Jared wasn't super thrilled with the moves, but at the same time, I was just kind of sending it. So, uh, yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a good race. But if I had a choice, I'd love to pull out like one of those Briar Bauman 2020 half mile wins by like 12 seconds, but we haven't seen very many of those lately.
I think we went something like 39 laps last year. Do you think it's going to be this long this year? I mean, I think they're going to shorten it up a little bit, don't you?
They've actually cut our time down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I want
I think
yeah
it was
yeah
12
they cut it.
minutes plus 2 laps last year.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure that we all agreed or not agreed, but it was messed with because, dude, we were out there for a long time, and the track, like,
Right.
of course, it was a Charlotte. It was a Charlotte we've never seen before. It basically rained the whole Friday the night before, and then like, it was, dude, it was so hooked up. I've never been there, and the track been so fast and so basically just ride as hard as you can. I mean, I think in years past I pulled like one tear off the whole day, and I went through like 26 in the main event. So it's
Wow.
it was wild. It was so different, but it was a lot of fun.
Cool. Let's back up to California. It looked like you got to go spend some time with your family and friends. How cool is that to finally get to do so? You haven't been to California for a little while. How good was it to catch up with your family?
It was good. It was really really good. Honestly, yeah. So got in the day before, and we met up with Maxwell on our way out to Salinas. So we flew in Thursday, got there like Thursday at noon, and it was funny because we went to my grandma's house who passed away back in 2017. My parents still own it, and we roll in, and it was like clockwork. One like all of a sudden we're upstairs and we hear the door open and Max is like, "Who's here?" He freaks out a little bit, and I'm like, just wait. Here comes one friend. They come up, they just sit on the couch, and we haven't done that since like 2019 or 2018 even, and it was like things had never changed. So a lot of peace of mind just from just having that on Thursday, and like I think we hung out till 10:30 or 11 Thursday night, and Max was like, "That was so cool, man. We just all hung out." I'm like, "Dude, that was every night when I was here." So, and then the following week, obviously had a good weekend in Sacramento, but kind of a mentally straining weekend. And
Hmm.
I was able to meet up with more family members and go have lunch, and just kind of we went golfing. Just get a chance to see people you don't get to see all the time, and it means more than you know when all you think about is racing all the time. It's good just to get away, honestly.
Right on. One more question. Not too long ago, you and Shayna announced your new merchandise line. Tell us how we can find the BB1 merchandise and the Shayna Texter Bauman merchandise.
Yeah, shop texterbauman.com. We've been pretty good with sales actually. We've been shipping stuff out, and when I say we, Shannon's been on the shipping department. So if anything's late, make sure you leave a nasty review. But let me tell you, she gets fired up when her notification goes off when someone orders something off shop Texter Bauman. So if you guys want to see Shay get fired up, order something midday. She texts her phone at the track. She's gonna be fired up. So
All right.
yep.
Sounds good. I think I'll do that in Charlotte. Hey, man, thanks for your time. You're our first guest, our 100th guest, and now our 200th guest, and let's keep it going.
Let's keep it rolling, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, man. Good luck in Charlotte.
Yep, thanks.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
good
cool.
stuff, dude. That's it's cool that he gave us the time for sure. Hell of an interview. Nice little deal right there, man. Two-time champ, back-to-back guy.
Yeah, I got curious and went and looked up the results from Charlotte last year. We did go 39 laps, which is a lot. I don't think it was boring at all. And like he said in the interview, the track got extra rain the night before. We rained out, and it was fast. Jeffrey Carver went around him. Both him and Meese were putting on one heck of a battle, kind of block passing each other, maybe riding defensively instead of offensively. But I can't wait for this. This Charlotte. It's going to be different. There's going to be 4 classes. You got the Royal Enfields running. You also have the Super Hooligan Series, the singles, the production twins, and look at that, 5 classes. I can't even count 5 classes, and the super twins. So there'll be 5 classes running. I mean, I know some of them will finish earlier on. I'm expecting the track to go through a lot of changes throughout the day. I don't know who that's going to help more, Briar or Jared. And both of them have some smart guys in their corner. And man, we'll just have to wait and see. But 39 laps last time. It's not going to be quite that long. They did go 12 minutes plus 2 laps last time we were there.
Well, you can definitely tell the downtime with family spent there in California helped. He seems cool as a cucumber, man. With and he's definitely not holding back. Pretty vocal about his feelings about the breaks in between these races. But I mean, it's especially this one's got to be tough to go through. This far out with a 4-point difference in that championship battle. Looking forward to that one for sure. What's up?
Yeah, I was going to say, especially sitting in second. Now that he's led the points, probably since around Joliet, I think is when he took over the points lead.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's in second. So now he has to sit here and think about it for 26 days. Right now, it doesn't seem like it's bothering him. Maybe when he gets to the track, it might be. But, when you put your helmet on, you just know that he needs to go out there and beat Meese. And I think Meese knows the exact same thing. He has to go out there and beat Briar. So it's good. It's a battle amongst all of them. But really, it's amongst 2.
Yeah. Well, and if anybody has any extra time, go back and try to find that race and watch that. That was a pretty epic little battle that they had last year. So if this year's anything close to that, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch. So yeah, and that's only the first half of our interviews. We actually have a second half as well. Who else are we talking to, Mr. Dubes?
Well, I think we need to talk to the guy that took over the points lead. He's won 4 races in a row. He's won 7 this year so far. I'm talking about the jammer, Jared Meese.
You want to roll that one now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Drop it. 6-time, 5-time, soon to be more time. I mean, I don't even know how to introduce this guy. Jared Meese, what's up, man?
How are you guys?
Man, I'm good. I got to know, where are you at now? I mean, you go back and forth between Michigan and Florida, so where's Meese at now?
Michigan. I usually stay in Michigan pretty much fully in the summertime. And the plan always seemed to be, as the last race wound down there towards the southeast coast there, we'd always migrate that way, hit the race, and then head on. I guess you can call it home now. So gonna go to Charlotte, and from Charlotte go to Florida.
I gotcha. So, are you accustomed to Florida now? I mean, you've been down there for a few years. Are you a Floridian? Are you still, are you from Pennsylvania, Michigan? I mean, you're from all over the place.
No, I'm a Floridian now. I don't like the cold like at all. So I like the heat. I like Florida. We live in a town called Sebastian. It's a pretty small town, south of like the Melbourne, Florida airport. A little north of Vero Beach. Seems like everybody kind of knows Vero Beach, but yeah. So no, we like it there. I like the heat and like the atmosphere. It's pretty laid back.
What are you doing to occupy your time? It's a 26-day break since Sacramento before Charlotte. What does Jared Meese do in that time?
This year, it seems like I sold my house actually up here in Michigan at the end of last year, and I bought another one and remodeled it through the winter of last year into the spring of this year and summer. And you know how it is. There's always something to be going with it. So keeping up on the training program as always, but mainly just focused on trying to patch up the little projects and whatnot here before I head to Florida in a couple weeks. And Just got my new security cameras in, so I'm gonna hang those things up and doing some stuff in the garage and just little odds and ends. And I'm actually lining up some stuff to get done on the house while I'm gone with some friends and whatnot. So that's keeping my mind on, I guess, my mind off the last race of the year. And I'm always active and going, and I got rental houses and stuff up here and whatnot. So yeah, I've been busy putting stuff together even for Springfield already for next year.
Wow. Wow. That's what was my next subject. I was going to ask you about Springfield. Are you ready to take over that monster?
Yeah. It's we came in about 3 or 4 days early of the Springfield Mile of this year, and just try to learn the ropes and learn and meet all the employees and as many people as we could. And Nicole worked side by side with Tamara like the day of the race, and kind of understood how she did things versus how she does things in Lima. So we got as accustomed as we can with it, and we're really looking forward to it. We're gonna you know definitely be as good as it always was, we hope, and gonna try to spice it up a little bit with some things, so should be good.
Can you drop any secrets? Like, is it going to be a doubleheader weekend? Are you going to have 2 weekends, or do you even know yet? Or can you tell us yet?
It's definitely going to be a double header Labor Day weekend, like it's been. It makes a lot of sense to do it that way, so yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'd like to try to spice it up in the future of doing like a Saturday night band, like after the first Saturday night mile, have a band up on that big stage and just try to make it more of a happening type of thing. So I think it'll be good.
Awesome. Yeah. So,
I'll help you in 1 second. I'm on the phone. You want to say hi?
hi, Hayden. Hi, Hayden. How are you?
Say good.
Good.
Say I'm getting ready to take a
Good.
bath, huh?
Get ready to take a bath.
Oh, right on. It's good to
Bath
see you.
time. Yeah. Okay, let me finish up. Okay. Okay, just stay quiet, okay?
She said no.
Okay.
She said no.
So yeah, that's
so
what we're planning on doing.
I got you. So Graham wants me to let you know that she has reserved seats at Springfield, and she's had them withstanding with Dave and Tomer. She wants to make sure that she gets the same seats. Is that all right?
Yeah, we'll take care of her there.
All right. So let's go back to. She's on it.
All right. Hey, hold on.
Oh, she's yep.
Hey, I gotta do this interview.
I think she's coming for Kristen's job, right? That's what she's going for.
Yeah, that seems to be the act she's after. That's for sure.
She sang the whole national anthem for me just to show she can, and she nailed it, dude. She's gonna be a singer or an announcer or something.
Yeah, she's. I think we're gonna try to get her to sing the national anthem at Lima next year. See how good she does. She's missing a couple words here and there, but she's doing good.
Let's talk about Sacramento a little bit. I guess one thing that I was surprised for is your wife was the grand marshal, and then she took a few laps on a pinked out Indian. What was going through your mind while she was doing that? I mean, did you get to watch that? I know you're in race mode at that point, but did you get to watch that and enjoy that at all?
Yeah, I did. I mean, she looked, man, she looked really good. I mean, the first couple laps, I told her to take it real slow, and you notice some of the riders, like other riders, like Brandon, for example, Robinson, he gets a lot of head shake on his Indian, and sometimes
Hmm.
Sammy does, and every once in a while, sometimes I will. So I was a little bit cautious with her with that. Believe it or not, it's not the bike; it's actually the rider sitting on it, the weight bias of how it's balanced. So it's technically, like, I'm not trying to blame Brandon as a rider. It's his problem. It's just his weight bias, the way he gets over the front and how it, I think, loads the front more than the rear. And me, I'm smaller and shorter, but obviously Sammy, he's got problems with it too. So I think a lot of it is set up too and whatnot. So I was a little bit worried, her jumping on this thing and her being, 40 pounds or 30 pounds lighter than me or something like that, and it shaking, and it didn't shake at all for her. So that was awesome.
Right.
So she, kind of came up to speed a little bit there at the end, and she was all done. So yeah, I guess I was a little nervous about it, maybe shaking on her, but yeah. I mean, with that being said, like even Brian rode the same exact bike the next day, and he had some problems with it shaking with him, on it. So it just kind of goes to show you that the shake problem isn't really the bike; it's more the rider and the weight bias of the rider on the bike.
And just where you sit, and Robinson's a taller rider, just weight distribution's a huge thing, right?
Just the way you tuck. I mean, you could, some guys grab the handlebar, some guys grab the fork tube, the gas tank. Just the way the air kind of dirties around you and can shake. And most of the time when you get into a shake, it continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse through the straightaway. So you come out of the corner, and a lot of times too, like Sacramento was bad on the back straightaway. Is you come down the back straightaway and there's a lot of groove marks from like when they graded the track, and your tires will get in those. So you'll have your back tire in one and your front tire in one to the right or one to the left, and then it upsets the chassis a lot because the wheels are not in line anymore. So that always is a problem too. But fortunately for me, my bike mainly goes pretty straight, so that's good.
So I know you wanted to come on off the groove to announce that Nicole will be your new teammate for 2022. Is that official? Can we just go ahead and throw it out there now?
Yeah, it's official. No, no, not a chance, man. I mean, I know, we'd like to see her back out there, but whew, I don't know if I could race again.
You'd have to retire and take care of Hayden.
Exactly.
Dude, so you mentioned Smith riding that bike. That was the pinked out bike. They made some changes, and that's the bike that Brian rode on Sunday out there.
Yeah, it was. He was too scared to run it as in the pink trim. Yep,
But
that
I
was his
think I
bike.
think I think it was a touch of class for you, letting him ride your backup to the backup bike. I heard it's the half mile bike, but and then the victory lap. So just talk about what it's meant throughout the years to be racing against another guy that you raced from little bikes all the way through your championships together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, when I moved to Michigan, we became really good friends. And he's actually the guy that really got me in like the rental home game. And he's actually 3 years older than me, but we were tight. And then we started getting in those big heated championship battles and race battles week in and week out. And we were just living in the same town, and you know walking in and out of the same places sometimes, some days, and we just got the tension of the championship battle, and he wanted as bad as me, and just kind of friendship a little bit clashed. And then the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, we've seemed to kind of doing things more together and riding a lot of mountain bikes. And then the last couple years we've really gotten back tight again and whatnot. So yeah, it was awesome. And I mean, even last year when he was on the Harley thing and struggling, and him and I were talking about it, I was just like, man, what about this? And what about that? And we try that and try this. And you know what I mean? Like, just, I wanted to see him do good, you know what I mean? Because I know Brian good when he's on good machinery, he's fast, and he's always been a thorn in my side to win races and championships. And so I wanted to see him do good as a friend. And then, the Harley thing didn't work out really that well. And then this year he was just, hey, I'm going to do a farewell year and run a few miles. And him and Ricky built the that chassis for the Indian. And personally, I just feel like it was a big lack of testing on the bike. They never really tested it. They just cold turkey came out and rode it, and then they had to add all that weight to the bike, and all
Hmm.
that weight affected their bike more than it did, say, my bike, because hell, my bike was already 15, 20 pounds heavier than there was. So I only had to add 12 pounds, 15 pounds max, where or no, I had to add like 8 pounds or something, 10 pounds, whatever it was, and he had to add like a full 25, 30. So I think that affected it a lot personally. And then he struggled at Springfield, and struggled the first night at Sacramento. And he reached out to me the morning of the Sacramento 2 and said, what's the story with the bike? And I said, I got to make a couple calls. And everybody said, cool, let him ride it. And the rest is basically history. We know
Yeah,
what happens then.
that was awesome. So he's been the mile master, and I don't know if that's a fair nickname because he's won at other tracks too. But it seems like now you've taken over that. You won every mile just a few years ago. You've won 4 miles in a row. So is it Is it the experience of racing the miles that's put you out there on top? Is it the equipment? Is it you just know what place to be in? I mean, it seems like the last few you just checked out. Like, the first day at Springfield, kind of like you played with them, and then from there on out, you just decided I don't need to draft with anybody. Just walk away from them. So what is it? Are you now the mile master?
I mean, I guess it would appear that way, but I mean, I don't want to, take, Brian. I will say Brian's taught me a ton on the miles. I mean, not really intentionally, just riding behind him for so many years on the Cowie and me on the Harley and seeing how he did things out there. And Brian was good at putting people where he wanted them to be, and that's the deal on miles, mainly Springfield, because of the drafting war. It's a game of chess, and you do this so that they move there, and there's ways of putting people in certain ways and in certain positions. So he was good at that, and I didn't know that I was falling into his traps half the damn time, until I went back and watched the videos. And I mean, I was on the Harley, so I was like, a little bit underpowered in some ways. In some ways, it was good things in the corners, but the way he moved down the straightaway here or moved me up there, it allowed this to happen. It was just like you gotta. I just try to put myself in his shoes when I was watching those videos, and just learned a lot. And unfortunately, I think it makes it, and I'm not trying to cut anybody and put anybody down, but the guys that I'm racing against, like, with the exception of Brian and Sammy, they're all really young, and
Hmm.
when I watch a lot of the videos now, I'm just like shaking my head and watching these guys come off they go through the corner, one goes faster through the corner than the other, and they come out on the straightaways and they're three wide. And it's just like, guys,
Right.
you cannot do that, And I think what helped me also was riding the Harleys for so long because there were a lot of momentum. You couldn't come off the corner right behind somebody or right on the back wheel of somebody because it wasn't going to do you any good. And so I think the Indians kind of let you I guess let you be more aggressive. You ride a little bit different because they accelerate a little bit faster. But I think learning on the Harleys back in the day was helpful for me because you got to keep momentum. You can't have the wheels stepped out. um, so I think that's why you see me excel. And yeah, got a great package. I mean, Kenny Tolbert's my mechanic. He's got lots of race wins and championships, and my bikes run good and they put the power to the ground where they need to be. And also too, like, Springfield 1 to Springfield 2 was the same bike, almost the same setup. And I got to give a big shout out to Jimmy Wood and Olins because I believe one of the reasons why we walked away from them on day 2 and then also Sacramento was Jimmy just got that thing more glued down. It wasn't like from Springfield 1 to Springfield 2, Kenny went and added 15 horsepower or something. Like, all we did was got the bike better hooked up. And to be honest with you, we actually took power away in some areas to get that. So, it's about getting the power to ground, as everybody always has said. But man, Jimmy and Olins had that thing really glued down on Sunday there at Springfield. And it was awesome to be that dominant because you don't see that very much at Springfield. And I could have came back the next day and had a drafting game again. So to say that I did it one time like some of the greats is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just to, like you just put into words, suspension on a fairly flat track, a round track, you wouldn't think that suspension would be that big of a factor, but obviously it was. So you've had a heck of a year so far, 7 wins so far, 4 in a row, 13 podiums, 5 mission challenges. You have 60 career wins now. So we have one race that stands between you and your next championship. You are 4 points ahead of Breyer going into the last race. What is your mindset going into Charlotte? You beat him there last time we were there last year. We only raced there once. You got second, he got third. It was one heck of a dogfight. Carver went around both of you because you guys were playing defense against each other, it kind of seemed like. So, what are your thoughts going to Charlotte?
Well, I mean, the way I look at it with the point spread from first to second being 5 and me only being 4, I look at it almost as we're going in dead tied. So I got to beat him just like he needs to beat me. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously the only thing that benefits the 4 points if it, he gets second and I get third. But as good as Breyer's been riding the last 3 years and of course all season, I don't look at really too many people beaten him or myself, honestly. I mean, there's definitely some guys that can do it. Halbert, Brandon, Jared Van de Koy's been doing really well. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think the determination that him and I are going to go in there with, I think it's going to be a battle for the win.
Have you been riding during this time off? Are you going to ride at all before you get down to Charlotte? Or like we at the start of this, when we started talking, your mind's doing other things to keep you occupied. So do you stay away from the motorcycles right now, or do you just wait until you get to Charlotte, or what's going on?
No, I ride. It's part of my training program. So I definitely make sure that that gets done daily, and just having fun with that. Obviously everybody knows that my injury in the beginning of the year was a big setback for me. So, getting back in the mix there the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I would say, getting back to my normal training program has been really key. And I think that's really what has helped me turn the corner, basically from Weedsport on to be able to get back to how I feel like I should have been riding. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I'll still be on the bike and getting it done there. Don't really ride a whole lot of flat track, but, motocrossing and cross training that way is also helpful.
Dude, I just want to say thanks for your time. It's building up to be one heck of a battle at Charlotte, and good luck to you. And my hat's off to you. 60 Grand National victories is incredible. You're closing in on Chris Carr. I don't know how much left is in your tank, but I can't wait to watch that unfold.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, like I said, at the beginning of this year, when leg was propped up with staples in my knee, man, I was like, you know, didn't think this was even going to be possible to be a threat to win the championship at the end of the year. So, all in all, win, lose, or draw, I really feel like it was a successful season. But, as I said before, I want to win this damn thing.
Absolutely. Hey, man, thanks for the time. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, guys, have a good one.
There it is, man.
Wow.
How about that?
It's so cool. It's so cool that we can reach out to, these two guys, and they take time out of their day to talk to us as we're building up the anticipation for the Charlotte Half Mile.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, same, like within an hour, we could talk to both of them. It was crazy. Same day. It was nuts. Appreciate the time from both of them. Great interviews from both guys. If I wasn't hype enough for it already, man, that got me pretty hype. And I honestly don't know who I'm pulling for. I think whoever does get the win and wins the championship deserves it. Because, I mean, with everything Mies has been through, with Breyer already winning 2 championships and going through everything he's done battle through the points battle this year. If he wins it, like he earned it 3 times, right? Like it's going to be fun to watch.
What I liked about Mies is he was very candid about some things about how rider position on the motorcycle can affect head shake. He was talking about Nicole, but at the same time, he also mentioned it happened to B-Rob, and B-Rob really had it more so at Springfield than he did at Sacramento. I don't know the reason for that, but it's just a lot of it's the positioning on the motorcycle, and he went through a lot better than I could describe it. But just listening to him talk about stuff like that and giving all the credit or a lot of the credit to Jimmy Wood and Olin Suspension for his performance on day number 2 of Springfield. It was night and day difference, so much so that bike got protested. They tore it all the way down. It was legit. Kenny Tolbert had to put that bike back together. That was the bike that he rode at Sacramento. So, and just to think about suspension on a mile, you wouldn't even think you would need any suspension, but it made the big difference. So if everybody has the same suspension, then it wouldn't be a big thing. But evidently, they found something.
Yeah.
And something that worked on that particular day. Maybe it was different than the day before. Because obviously the track changed, because all the rain on Saturday made the track a certain way for Sunday, and then they made it a little bit different for Monday's race. But it's incredible, and that's why we race this sport, and just people finding things. It's people that you have in your corner that you can rely on. Whether it's Kenny Tolbert, whether it's your suspension guy Jimmy Wood, whether it's whomever. But I love how candid both of those guys were. They're both champions. They're both going down in the history books. And to me, Mies has already cemented himself into the Hall of Fame. I think Breyer's on the way too. I mean, and he's just 26. He's
nuts.
still a youngster.
Insane.
He's still a youngster, but he's riding so well. So I think it's going to be between those two for the race win, which ultimately will decide the championship, and that's why we race. So it was awesome to have both those guys on the podcast. And we got one more little tease before we're going to step away from here.
Yeah, dude.
And this one's been exciting. You kind of brought this to my attention and we both follow this young lady.
Yeah.
And and you thought, and I thought that she deserved her little spot in the limelight. So you want to tease that video right now?
Absolutely. We chatted with a little chat with Morgan Monroe earlier today. Check it out.
Number 10, Jay, in your program. Number 1 in your heart, Morgan Monroe. What's happening?
Hi, Scotty. It's so good to see you again. So good to talk to you again. I feel like it's been a long time, which I guess it has, but just working on Morgan's Place. We've been to a lot of events and we've been talking to a lot of people and trying to get the wheels in motion. We're just working on it still so far.
A big overview. What is Morgan's Place for those that don't know?
Morgan's Place is an outpatient rehabilitation location for people when they get out of the hospital or get out of inpatient care, or if they just want to come to us and just dedicate some time to recovery. We're gonna have a campground. That way, people can stay with us if they want to, bring their own camper, or we plan on having park models for people to be able to stay in, and then have occupational therapists and physical therapists come on location to us until we get like I'm going through occupational therapy school, so until I get my degree or until we have other therapists with us. For the plan right now is just to have people come on location, but
that's awesome.
Do that a couple days a week and then have some like planned activities at the campground that people can, use for therapy too. Cause that was a big thing for me during my recovery, was making everything I could into therapy, because that's kind of just what it takes.
That's awesome. For more information on Morgan's Place, tune in next week to the podcast Off the Groove. Briar, what's going on?
How about that, dude?
Man, it's so good to see her smiley face, and she sounds like she's doing great. I'm so impressed with her recovery. I know it's been a while, but she's doing great, and she's doing great things now that she's graduated from college. And I hope everybody enjoys that podcast next week, because we've already recorded it. We know what it's all about, but it's really cool. It's really special.
Amazing story, and I think it's just kind of beginning, man. With everything she's doing with Morgan's Place, I think it's going to be really special what she's got going there, and she's just getting started with that. So it'd be cool to get everybody to know her backstory if they don't already, and see what cool stuff she's building there with Morgan's Place. So. Yeah, man, a hell of a day, man. 200th episode. Like, I don't think we could ask for a better episode there for 200.
Well, you knocked out of the park. I didn't do a whole lot. You just you did all the videos and got them all lined up, and you were all the hard work behind the scenes. So thanks for everything you did, Carter.
Absolutely, dude. Well, I think we can call that one kind of a success. I don't know.
Think so.
We did from beginning to end. We did a show, and it didn't like completely like go up in flames. It worked.
Not yet. It hasn't. I'm taking my hands off.
Oh yeah, wait.
Hey, before we go, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing too crazy this weekend, man. I'm kind of getting ready for Charlotte, dude. Getting some stuff prepared, organized, left out, having some fun with that. We need to catch up, you, me, and Sammy here soon. Talk through all that. Yep. So we'll make that happen here soon. But yeah, man, got a lot of cool things around the corner. So. This was pretty cool, so we'll have to maybe do something along the lines of like a video or something down the line with more stuff. I don't know, but I hope the patrons liked it. Hope everybody liked it. Looks like Tracy Jones liked it. Look at that.
What I was getting ready to say. I hope the patrons really liked it. Something special for them coming out the night before. We'll drop the normal podcast like normal on Friday. That will be audio only, and we'll put this somewhere on our Instagram TV, possibly our YouTube and Facebook, all over the socials.
We're just playing around, testing the waters.
Thanks to all of our followers. Smash that like button. Tell all your friends about the podcast. We made it to 200. Our next goal is 300.
300, huh?
Over again. Yeah. Briar said he'd be our guest.
300, man. That's going to be in like 2 more years.
That's only 52 weeks. Yeah, man.
I do like this music.
I might be retired by then.
All right. I can't believe we did it, dude. It didn't blow up. Hell of an episode. 200 in the can, dude. This is about 3 years now, too. Well, 3 years and some change we've been doing this year. It's good stuff, dude. Any final words?
No, just just, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for everybody that listens to our podcast. I mean, who would have thought that us two talking about flat track motorcycles would last this long? And I just thank all the people that supported us. And it's
we love you. We love you.
Breeding project.
Yeah, it's growing. Every this is a big step, dude. Doing a little bit of live video end to end. We'll see what we can do with this, and maybe have some fun with this in the future. And appreciate everybody coming along for the ride. Those been from the beginning, those are just jumping on board. Those that haven't found us yet, that will find us in a week and listen to all 200 episodes in a day and a half because they're crazy like that. We welcome everybody. Anything else? I'm out. 200 episodes.
That's it, man. That's it. Done. Thanks, patrons. Thanks to all of our listeners. See you next week.
Peace.
Talk to you next week.
See ya.
Later.